Hi, my name is Florian from Quality Guru, where I answer your questions and share knowledge about quality management. And today I would like to talk about customer part release in the automotive industry, because there are several rules and guidelines depending where you are, if you're working in Europe, in Germany, or in Americas, in the USA, or in other parts of the world. So there are some procedures which I would like to show to you, and let me know your questions. And if you get value out of this video, please hit the like and subscribe button so that you get notified whenever there's a new video. Let's go right in. In the automotive industry, the two processes mostly used are the PPAP and I think the PPA process. But they're basically same but different, so they have the same purpose. It is about releasing your part by the customer before you start shipping. So when we want to offer a new product, we cannot immediately ship it to the customer. First of all, we need to ask for approval. When the customer gives us this written and formal approval in form of a document, or maybe nowadays in computer systems, then we are able to move forward and start shipping our parts officially to the customer. So, and there are two different major concepts, and here they come from two big organizations. One is the AIAG, the Automotive Industry Action Group in the United States, with the production part and approval process, which is the PPAP. And then we have another one coming from the German industry, which is the PPA, from the VDA, the German Union of Automakers, basically. And PPA stands for Production Process and Product Approval, which is the same thing. Both require certain items to be clarified and approved by the customer before we can start shipping. In the case of PPAP, those are 18 items, and in the case of PPA, those are 22 items. So they're asking for very similar things. So let's look now into PPAP as an example, so that you get an idea what the customer is asking for and how could you organize this kind of situation if you are in the situation to or issue a PPAP or to close a PPAP together with your customer. So here we can see that there are 18 different items of the PPAP. And item number 1, for example, are the design records. Design record means basically what are the drawings underlying your product. So when you are shipping a product, here you need to place the drawings which the customer can expect to be fulfilled. So the drawing is the kind of specification for your part. Put here the drawing which is valid for your current part status, so that it's always clear what is the standard to which you are currently delivering. So here the drawing needs to be placed. Then if there are engineering changes, 2 and 3, you need to show which engineering changes have been performed, and if they are also approved by the engineering department of the customer. Then also show your design FMEA. If you don't know what an FMEA is, check out my video about FMEA so that you can see failure mode and risk and effects analysis. And then process flow diagram. So what is your process flow? First I do this, second, third, fourth and fifth, and so on. So you show your process flow. You show your control plan. How do you control your product? If you don't know what a control plan is, check also my video about control plan. Then you give 8 and 9, you give measurement system analysis and dimensional result. Measurement system analysis shows that you show the evidence, the studies, the gauge R&R, that all your gauges are calibrated and functioning well in an acceptable range and can be used for control of your production. Then you give the dimensional results if it's required for the product. So what are the sizes? You measure the parts, you show that they are within the specification of the product drawing. Then you have material performance and test results. So here it could be that you show your DVP and R, so that means your design verification plan and the results. That means if you have a product and it has a certain function in a vehicle, then you want to show your test results, that evidence that this product is fulfilling the requirement of the specific functions. So for example, if your product is a lamp and should emit a certain amount of light, then you show the reports how this lamp is doing this and that it's meeting all the requirements. So you can add here the test reports of this kind of characteristics. Then you have initial process studies. So here you can show your CPK and PPK. Is your process stable or unstable? Does it meet the requirement? Or if not, maybe you need to do here additional controls like a 100% inspection within your process. Depends on, and you can always, if there are doubts, you can also contact your customer to align on what to do if there are any borderline cases. Then you have laboratory documentation. So do you have any test reports? Then you have appearance approval reports. So maybe some are parts which are very visual and they need to look nicely and meet certain requirements in terms of surface, color, and so on. So show the parts, issue the report and share the report with the customer. Maybe these reports also need to be issued together or by the customer. Then the customer wants to see a sample product. That means you should bring the parts from your production for evaluation. And if these sample products meet the requirements, the customer can together with you and should together with you sign a master sample to say, okay, this part is exactly how we want to have all the other parts. If they are worse than this, then we will reject them. So a master sample is a good item which if you can have it in your own company, it would be great because you can take it as a reference point, and if there's some doubt about can we ship this or can we not ship this, you can always go back to your master and compare and see, is it on the same level or did we really deteriorate or are we even better than the master? That means there was an improvement over time maybe also. Then you have checking aids. Checking aids are all the tools you use in your production to control and check the production, that it's within specification, that it's within control. So list them here. And record compliance with customer specific requirements. So here you should also show that you are meeting the customer requirements. List the customer requirements that you ensure to meet. Maybe the customer has several documents. These documents have a name, ABC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know. Many customers have a really complex set of requirements with specific norm numbers. So you can also list them here so that you are showing that you know these requirements and that you are able to meet them. And finally, last but not least, the part submission warrant, the PSW. This gets always confused with or often confused with the PPAP. It's basically a kind of a cover sheet which shows, okay, I meet all the requirements and not only my product is meeting them, but also my process, because I'm able to deliver this with a specific production rate. That means 100 parts per hour, 50 parts per hour, 200, 1000 parts per hour, whatever your process is. So you not only are able to deliver this quality, what you show in the report one time, you are able to deliver it all the time if your production rate is on a certain level, maybe 200 parts per hour. So now you see what the 18 items mean, more or less. You can always go into the specific book, Production Part Approval Process, PPAP by the AIAG, where it's very specific. There's a lot of material on the internet, so check it out. And you can also see that there are now 5 levels. What do the 5 levels mean? So when you want to do a PPAP, you can align with your customer and you can say, okay, how do we do the PPAP? Which documents do you want to see? Maybe because every product is a little bit different and maybe not all the items apply to all of them. And maybe also there's a minor change. Maybe the customer doesn't want to see now all the items, but they would say, okay, give me the PPAP on a certain level. Maybe a level 3 would be, show me all the documents. I want to hold the documents in my hand. So PPAP level 3 is the strongest level of PPAP because it requires that you submit almost all the documents to the customer. If it's a very minor change, maybe a level 1 is sufficient. The customer will say, no, I know you, I trust you, just give me a new cover sheet so that you show me and you declare to me that you are able to do this. I will use this, and then I hold you accountable versus this. But there's not much changing in the different documentation. There's less product risk. And the 2, level 2 is something between the 3 and the 1, so it's give me some of the documents, not all of them, and yeah, I will be happy with this because it's not a new product, it's just a change. But I want to see, for example, dimensional report or whatever it is, because this could affect my my own process, and I want to make sure that this is all right. Yeah, and then there also level 5. Level 5 means no, I don't want to see most of your documentation. Just keep them at your place, and when I come to you, I want to review them, but now I don't need them. And level 4 is basically saying I want to give you specific requirements. So the star means I don't, so the R means retain at your side, S means submit to the customer, and the star means the customer will define it. So at the end of the day, we can use these levels. We can also ask our customer directly, hey, which documents do you want to see? And if the customer says, let me think, or you can also make them a proposal and say, okay, here, are you happy with a level 2? Are you happy with a level 1? It's a minor change. Is it enough if I send you the cover sheet? And the customer will let you know, no or yes, and then you can move forward with those items. So this is the PPAP. There's also the PPA. Let's have a quick look at the PPA. So you can see here 22 items. They're not exactly the same. The PPA comes out of the Red Book, so Quality Assurance for Suppliers, VDA, number 2. So you can also get this book if you are, for example, working with German suppliers and they are German companies, German automotive companies, and they want to see a PPA over these 22 items. So you can also work with them. But let's see what is here different. We see item number 8. We want to have a software test report. We have a specific item number 7, material IMDS data sheet. And we have specific items, part history 19, but it's also similar to engineering change document number 2 in the PPAP. So they are not completely different. They have a little bit specific form to express and ask for the things, but at the end they serve the same purpose. What is the purpose? Before we ship something to our customer, we need to ensure that we are meeting the requirements. So I hope this was helpful for you. PPAP, PPA, both are the same but different. One is the American standard, one is the German standard. Probably there are more systems out there in the world. Let me know if you know some of them. I would love to hear from you, and click the like and subscribe button if you get value out of this video and to be notified when the next video is coming. Thank you very much, and I see you in the next video.